Wonder how late it is. Well, it is late. Late all over the place. And refrain from sugar. Gotta hear the homies. How you doing, Mr. Captain? Nothing to see here. Just walking in the cold. Uh, Feels nice. Actually, just trying to make sure all my stuff works. Everybody's still worn out from Christmas, and everybody's saving their energy for the New Year's Eve. I'm just posted up, kicking it, whatnot. Salute, PMC. How you doing, man? Hope all's well. Just outside enjoying the nice cold weather. I like it cold when I'm walking. I don't like it cold when I'm just sitting. Doesn't really work for me. Grand rising to you. I haven't even went to sleep yet. And that is something that I have to do. But for you, it is the grand rising. And it's the beginning of the week for a lot of people, I think. I don't really know. I mean, my week is all over the place. Ah, yes, the harvest. Only thing we got to do is, all the animals are asleep, so I ain't got to worry about them. The chickens, the ducks, rabbits, the dogs. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Like, part of me wants to do some game streaming, so that's how I relax. The other part is, you know, watch me some vids. Mm. Oh, no, I work in the mornings on the weekends. I wish I remember Blade Trinity. But speaking of which, did you see that Ryan Reynolds is rallying? He's trying to convince Marvel to give Wesley Snipes one more Blade movie. Mahershala Ali. I don't know. They wanted to ruin that. I don't know. If you want to put Wesley back in Blade, it's a real simple story. Pick up from Deadpool and Wolverine, where he was taken out of his world. He comes back, it's overrun with vampires. So Blade got to do what Blade got to do. It's not a complex story. That's just me, though. It's funny on the wrestling stream that I be talking to people on. We were discussing Blade because it's Blade. I mean, at its core, Wesley Snipes said it best. I get to wear a leather out. I get to wear a leather trench coat, wield a sword, and kill vampires. Why wouldn't he have taken the role? Yeah, it is Wesley. Sometimes I'm a jerk and tell everybody that it's also Sticky Fingers too, because he was Blade on the TV series on Spike. Whether people like it or lump it. Yeah, I love that one. There's so many great quotables in Blade. I like what he said. There's a war still going on. If you want to help, make me a better serum. Hold on a second. I gotta pause this. I'm trying not to. Have a good night. There we go. Just got through picking up all my confections. Uh, yeah, now we were discussing the blade, real simple, elegant. Just like people be going, they're all like, I have to remind people, yeah, it was Blade. Blade was the first successful Marvel movie, and it was a rated R Marvel movie. And we were like, no, no, it was X Men. I'm like, came out before that. And then when people say Blade had the Matrix look, I'm like, Blade came out a year before the Matrix. I think I went to Valley High, as a matter of fact, when that came out. Mm. Oh, wait, I got you here so I can do this. Hold on. Sorry. Um, they pulled, I had to put a mod on you so that they don't just sit up there and hide your stuff. But yeah, that was a good quote too. He had a lot of good quotes. Ah, yes. Nah, always sweep out my mods. Like, always clear it all out. Cause sometimes I just go mod crazy and then it's like, I just press the all button and then all the people that come back, I just put them back on. The people that I know. But what I was trying to say was underrated hero or villain or underappreciated. Mm, well, that varies. That varies. Depends on what universe we're talking about. Like you can go with anybody. Um, you know what though? I'm gonna go with the strangers from the short-lived Ultraverse. That's the verse where they had Prime, Ghoul, Lord Pumpkin. Apparently, they had got bought by Marvel and they stopped all of it. That was part of the short-lived Malibu Comics. And even though they brought them back, the Blood Syndicate is very underappreciated. Ah, yes. Mm, mm. I mean, they're starting to do things now, like with all of these characters that I was obsessed with. Like hell, they brought back Static. But the whole Milestone universe was underappreciated. As far as villains go, hmm, kind of tricky. Like you're talking about villains they don't use enough, or talking about that the public doesn't just enjoy. Because Lady Shiva Wusan is pretty dope. They don't give her no props. Yeah, Mantra and Sludge were dope. So was Contrary. But actually, you know what? I do realize who's an underappreciated superhero. So much that they didn't even put her in the damn cartoon, and she was in the Ultraverse. Lady Killer. Because remember, she designed all of she made all of the strangers' costumes, but they couldn't put her name in there. Plus, her whole thing was basically she was like Bullseye, but she couldn't throw projectiles. But anything she had in her hand, she can make into a weapon and hit you with perfect aim. Exactly. Hard case. Yep. Prime. Hell, I don't leave out Prime. One of my first YouTube questions, one of the questions I ever asked on the social media was, who would win the fight between Prime and Shazam? Or even if they would have beef. I just put them together because they're both kids with overpowered bodies. But the thing I liked about Prime, actually, that they didn't tackle in the cartoons was him looking like that, but he's actually, a 13-year-old boy. So he had that girl that he liked, and he gave her a kiss, and that was crazy because he was in his prime body. So it just all was wild. Then he met Spider-Man. But the Ultra Force, like the Ultraverse, was, pretty cool. I didn't get to read everything, but I thought it was interesting. Oh, wait. There we go. I'm still walking. I wasn't even on me. I forgot I had the camera off. Nightman. Well, funny thing about Nightman, comic book, Ultra Force, and he had a TV show. How come all three of them things didn't match? Like, remember, Nightman had a TV show. It was the only character to have a TV show in the Ultraverse, like to have a live action. And it was weird. It made no sense. It wasn't anything like the comics. How you doing, Alice Kilel? Yeah, Nightman was dope. Just like an Image, we both were partial to Shadowhawk. Mm. OG X Force, I gotta go with. Say what you want. They seem to get they can get it together when they want to. Plus, the Ultra Force wasn't really a crew. Remember, that was just a cartoon. Plus, what I liked about the Ultraverse was that it took place in San Francisco, which is something you didn't see very often. And don't forget about Rune. Rune was dope. But the reason I didn't like Lord Pumpkin, but I loved Pistols. And I liked that they gave him more of a character in the cartoons. They still kept him a raging psychotic gun kid. Hmm. But one of my favorite, well, they weren't my favorite Image team, but remember, I used to like the Wildcats a lot too. Like, I liked Grifter, but I was a big fan of Maul, super intelligent big man. Oh yeah, a good Nightcrawler movie. Kurt Wagner. I just want them to. I just want Mystique to acknowledge her son. That's what bothered me about X-Men 2. I brought that up in a video. I'm like, how come in X-Men 2, Nightcrawler and Mystique's relationship ain't even talked about? But yeah, I love Nightcrawler. They did him justice in X-Men 97, though. He was dope. I'm hoping that season 2 hits too. But who was I talking to? I was talking to my homie about the Penguin show, and that I ended up liking it a lot. The reason I liked it is because they didn't make him a sympathetic anti-hero like they always do with my villains. They made sure to remind you that he's a villain. Oh, this wrapping paper and stuff. I love the Gotham series. I thought it was real good. Like it was well made, well written. Except for when they rushed it at the end, but I know why they rushed it because they were getting canceled. I was surprised Fox kept it on for as long as they did it. Because you know Fox likes to get rid of everything. Yeah, Fox is yeah, so our CW goes. Yeah, they cancel stuff too. I can't even lie. Like they're not very good about keeping anything, are they? Right? The 100. I fell off of that show so hard. I liked the first couple of episodes, but I couldn't get through the whole season. It just didn't do it for me. A lot of these shows disappear like reaction videos, like reactors. But as crazy as CW was with canceling stuff, I think that the WB was worse before they became the CW. You know what I mean? The first three like CW was real bad about like CW when it was the WB. I remember there used to be shows on there and they just disappeared. Like Birds of Prey, they didn't even get out a chance. And then everything became teenagery. And they try to blame it on Riverdale, but I'm like, that was happening before Riverdale. But the DC Universe Online app before it went away because I was actually paying for that thing. It gave me they gave me the best rendition of Cyborg, and that was on Doom Patrol. Like the Cyborg on there was Cyborg. None of that Snyderverse nonsense. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. They're also not gonna get the only dude on the squad who works during the day. Forgot his name. But he works Gotham City during the day. I didn't mind the Arrowverse actually. I fell off of it because I stopped having the TV. You know. Plus, that was during the dark period of my life, but I was cool with a lot of the Arrowverse. Like I used to watch The Flash. I liked The Flash. Most people hated it. I liked it. Didn't care, even though they used a lot of actors from Spartacus on there. I really liked when Wild Dog showed up. I was like, cool. Could it have been better? Yeah, but did I enjoy it? Yeah, it was simple. Yeah, you're either into it or you're not. That's how Arrow works. But I like that Flash better than the one that they gave us in the movies. Exactly. Watchable trash. But I like their version of the Flash better than the movie one. I thought that one was kind of weak. I thought Grant Gustin. Yeah, well, whatever. Ain't much to do with the Flash. The Flash was never really that interesting to me, anyway. Just like I've seen every incarnation of Superman, like almost every incarnation, and I was never even a fan of Superman. It's just that got friends, got fam, got kids. They all watch Superman. So no matter what, you end up saying Superman. But I'm happy to say that I think I've never watched an episode of Smallville that I can remember. Yeah. Well, Suicide Squad was just a giant cosplay. Yeah. See? But yeah, as far as superheroes go, it's just I'm into whatever I feel like. It's just like as much as I like anime, I'm not obsessed with it. Like I'm not one of those sub only people. And I don't like every anime. I'm one of the few people that don't like Akira. Do I appreciate the animation? Sure. But I came from motorcycles, damn it. Yeah. Yeah. They didn't do nothing with Katana. I swear they did. They just like they had Katana there and they did nothing with her. That made me kind of upset. But then again, that whole movie was flawed. Like apparently that's not what the director wanted. They just took everything that he wanted to do and was like, nah. They were too busy trying to marvel it up or something instead of just trying to make a good product. But of course, they didn't let him wear the mask. They always do that, nano masks and stuff with live action, so you can see the person's face, which is funny because that's what messed up the original Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone. He ruined the main thing about Judge Dredd is that you never see his face. Like Judge Dredd's been around forever. You're never supposed to see his face. Even when they had him remove his mask, his helmet once, they censored his face on in the comic. Warner Brothers is always a damn mess, and I blame the guy that took over before Netflix. It was because the guy only the first thing he did was he had a pic. Apparently, he had a picture of Lunatics Unleashed, and he said, "We're not doing that." And I'm like, Lunatics Unleashed was dope to me. They disrespected Lunatics Unleashed worse than they disrespect Scrappy Doo. I mean, I don't like Scrappy Doo, but damn, they disrespect the hell out of him. Sorry, I just got back in the house and fired up my PlayStation. Saying there's something I'm gonna watch. I mean, there are some anime right now that I'm really into. You know, like I really like Gachi Akata. It speaks to the gutter punk in me. Also, a fan of the story of Dan to Dan, but it's a lot to take in if you just got to power through that first episode. But also, that's my taste. It's not really yours. I mean, I'm into weird anyway. So I'm not here to tell anybody what's acceptable and what's not. Sasami and Ryoko, those are your favorite characters? I always liked Keone and that other girl, the blonde one on the blonde one that was Keone's best friend. Which is funny because I was never really a big Tenchi Muyo fan. I'd seen a few episodes and it was all right, but ironically, I think that's the third VHS I ever bought as far as anime go. It was Tenchi in Tokyo, Tenchi Muyo in Love. That was the name of it. It was about his mom. Oh, not a Bleach fan, not a One Piece fan. Like I'm one of the few people that's not a fan of Street Fighter. I mean of either Bleach or One Piece. And trust me, God knows I tried. I don't like the way it's drawn. Although it's funny because I like the live action. But the drawings to me look too much like Lupin the Third. I don't. That's as far as One Piece goes. It looks much like Lupin. And as far as Bleach goes, I just couldn't get into it. Even though for the longest time I had confused it with Shaman King. So I had messed up on that. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop though has cool episodes and great music. Not every episode is good. I mean, Jupiter Jazz and the Real Folk Blues are really good, but my favorite from that era was The one that I used to watch on Adult Swim, well, Toonami, was Trigun. Trigun was awesome. Love me some Samurai Champloo. But like Bleach was too teenager for me. Yeah, Lupin the Third. I remember watching that on a UHF channel on regular TV when I was like 10, 11 years old. That was when they had the Japanimation time. This is before they would put it even on Sci-Fi for Saturday Anime, when they still called it Japanimation. Just like I was never a fan of any of the Gundam series. Like none of them. Mobile Suit, Gundam Wing, Gundam this, Gundam G. I just wasn't a fan. Yeah. And my taste changed. Like one anime I wish that they would have did more with, but they only made that to be one season because it was a mini series. Was called Wolf's Rain. They should have did more with that. And Witch Hunter Robin was interesting. I was never a fan of Full Metal Alchemist. I'm real weird about my shonen. It's probably because when it comes to that one, I never got to start it from the beginning. Maybe if I started from the beginning, I'll appreciate it more. But I didn't have any DVDs or nothing like that, so there wasn't no way for me to really catch it. And I was drifting around. You know, I spent a lot of my life homeless. So the episodes I caught didn't do it. That's not hate though. It just means that I'm gonna try to reacquaint myself with it. Maybe it's something I missed, but no episode that grabbed me. You know, that's how I usually roll with my picks. Yeah, I can catch that. I love the fact that they're also like there are people on YouTube that actually put out the old OVAs of stuff. So like you can find video collections. They'll have like Dominion Tank Police on there and whatnot. Dominion Tank Police was real good to me. But yeah, it's just like people love Ghost in the Shell. I admit it was great, but I didn't care for it. I was into stuff like Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D. But some romance animes I would watch too. It just really, like I said, I had to be in the mood. Nah. Well, let's see. Jubei D from Vampire Hunter D. Rowan of the Strata. Anubis from Ronin Warriors. Love Anubis. So where I get my name from, kind of. Let's see. Iria from Zyrum D Animation. She was dope. It all just kind of goes everywhere. Some of the characters I can't remember. I can remember the movies, but I can't remember the characters as well. Street Fighter anime. One of my favorite characters in there was DJ. I don't know how many I just named off. Let's see. Yamcha from Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, but Yamcha from the OG Dragon Ball. One of my favorites.
Techno Man. That's a character. Uh, oh wait, Hmm, I almost forgot. It's a kid show. Don't care. I like Roo Bear from Adventures of the Little Koala. A lot of people don't mention him. I haven't watched ReZero. So I can't even say. Oh yeah, and the old man's wife in Russian Z. Russian Z was crazy. Let me see. Did I get everything? Yes. Yeah, I don't blame you. I like Dragon Ball Z to an extent, but do I love it? No. Especially the myth that that's what made anime mainstream. I'm like, no, it wasn't, but okay. Talking about anime came into the US in the 90s. I'm like, it's always been here. They just didn't call it that. Ah, yeah, Sailor Mars. Yeah. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just charging my phone. It's about to die. So I'm going to have to get the heck out of here. But hey, thanks for kicking it. As for the rest, y'all know I ain't no content creator. I'm just some dude who comes on there and talks. But much love and peace out. You too.